In the New Testament time, in Acts chapter 2, I personally believe, and there's archaeological evidence that would support this, that it was on that great staircase going up to the Holy Gates that the Apostle Peter preached a sermon on the day of Pentecost.
There are places in the world where history, faith, and mystery all come together. One such place is Jerusalem, a city unlike any other. When you walk its streets, you do not just see stones and walls. You're stepping on thousands of years of history. Beneath the surface, below what tourists and pilgrims see today, lies a hidden world full of secrets. Some of those secrets have now come to light, and one of the most astonishing is the discovery of a sealed gate that leads directly toward the very heart of Israel's ancient faith, the Holy of Holies. Before we continue this journey together and uncover the incredible secrets buried under the Temple Mount, I kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel. Subscribing helps us reach more people with these amazing discoveries that confirm the truth of the Bible. Now let's begin. When people come to Jerusalem, the first place many go is the Western Wall. Standing before it, you can feel something different in the air. This is not just another wall. It is what remains of the great temple complex built by King Herod more than 2,000 years ago. For the Jewish people, it is the most sacred visible site in the world today, and for Christians, it is a living reminder of the days when Jesus himself walked in these very courts. But what most visitors see is only a small fraction of the story. The visible section of the Western Wall is just the tip of the iceberg. Below ground, stretching far north and south, are massive stones, ancient streets, hidden tunnels, and gates long sealed. These hidden structures tell us about the glory of the temple and the deep connection between God and his people. And among these hidden places is one gate that has left archaeologists and scholars in awe. A gate that once opened closest to the Holy of Holies, the most sacred space on earth. To understand why this gate is so important, we must go back to the time of Herod the Great. Herod expanded the Temple Mount to a size never seen before. He ordered enormous retaining walls to be built around the temple platform, leveling the mountain so that the temple could rise above the city in splendor. The stones he used are among the largest ever quarried by human hands. One block weighs more than 600 tons, heavier than 200 elephants. And yet, these stones fit together so perfectly that even today you cannot slide a piece of paper between them. This incredible engineering was not only to impress, it was to ensure the stability of the temple itself, the place where God had chosen to make his name dwell. 1 Kings chapter 9 verse 3. Within the temple stood the Holy of Holies, the innermost sanctuary where the Ark of the Covenant once rested, and where God's presence filled the house. Only the high priest could enter, and only once a year on the Day of Atonement, Leviticus chapter 16 verse 2. Imagine then how meaningful it would be to stand near the very place closest to that sacred room. This is exactly what archaeologists believe has been found under the Western Wall. As you walk through the underground Western Wall tunnels, you will come to an extraordinary sight, enormous Herodian stones stacked with unimaginable precision. But next to them, sealed in stone, is a hidden gate. This gate is known as Warren's Gate, named after the 19th century explorer Charles Warren, who first documented it. Though sealed for centuries, scholars believe this was once one of the original entrances to the Temple Mount from the west. But it is not just any gate. According to historical records, this gate was the one that led closest to the location of the Holy of Holies. Standing by Warren's Gate, you are closer to the Holy of Holies than at any other accessible point today. That is why you will often see Jewish men and women praying with deep emotion at this spot. To them, This is as close as one can possibly get to the place where God's glory once dwelt. Why does this matter so much? Because in the Bible, the temple was the very dwelling place of God on earth. The Lord told Solomon after the temple was built, "I have consecrated this temple, which you have built, by putting my name there forever. My eyes and my heart will always be there." 1 Kings chapter 9, verse 3. The Holy of Holies was the center of that presence. It was here that God's glory, the Shekinah, filled the sanctuary. And even though the temple was destroyed, the holiness of that spot remains. The discovery of this sealed gate reminds us of the Bible's truth and of the deep longing of the Jewish people for God's presence to return to Jerusalem. For Christians, it also points us to Jesus Christ, who entered the heavenly Holy of Holies on our behalf, Hebrews chapter 9, verse 11 to 12, becoming the perfect sacrifice so that we could have direct access to God. It is striking that this gate, like the famous Golden Gate on the eastern side of the Temple Mount, is sealed. The Golden Gate is tied to prophecy in Ezekiel, where the prophet saw the glory of the Lord entering the temple through the East Gate, Ezekiel chapter 43, verse 4. He also saw that the gate would be shut, waiting for the return of the glory of God, Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 1 to 2. What a powerful image! Two sealed gates, one closest to the Holy of Holies, the other facing the Mount of Olives, both waiting for the day when God's glory returns. Could it be that these gates are sealed for a reason, awaiting the fulfillment of God's plan? Another thing that makes this discovery remarkable is how Jerusalem itself has been built layer upon layer through the centuries. After the Romans destroyed the temple in AD 70, new rulers built over the ruins. The Mamluks, centuries later, even raised the ground level so that much of the western wall is now underground. This is why so much of ancient Jerusalem is hidden below today's streets, like a buried treasure chest waiting to be opened, and archaeologists are still uncovering new secrets. With every dig, they find evidence that confirms the biblical account: streets from the time of Herod, ritual baths, ancient coins, and more. Without the events of the Six-Day War in 1967, none of this would have been possible. It was only after Israel regained access to the Old City and the Western Wall that these tunnels could be explored. And what they have found continues to astonish the world. For those who walk through the tunnels today, standing near Warren's Gate is a moment of awe. Pilgrims pray, archaeologists study, and believers reflect on the holiness of the place. You are reminded that God is not just a figure of the past, but alive and present. Even though the temple no longer stands, God's promises remain. The Bible tells us that one day His glory will return to Jerusalem and all nations will come to worship Him there. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16. The sealed gates are a silent witness to that coming day. The discovery of the gate beneath the Temple Mount is more than just an archaeological find. It is a reminder of God's dwelling among His people, of His promises that never fail, and of the hope that remains for the future. Whether you see it as history, prophecy, or both, it leaves you with a sense of awe. For the Lord has chosen Zion, He has desired it for His dwelling, saying, "This is my resting place forever and ever. Here I will sit enthroned, for I have desired it." Psalm chapter 132, verse 13 to 14. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the hidden tunnels of Jerusalem and the gate that once led nearest to the Holy of Holies. If this discovery has strengthened your faith, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel for more insights into biblical archaeology and prophecy. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you as you continue to seek His truth.